transvestite now, or has he announced that he's a girl and identified himself as a girl, or what? I don't know.
I mean, it's cutting edge commentary, really. If I was this good, then maybe I'd have more subscribers. But this is very much Paul Breach's brand now, and he has gone on live and kind of defended and spoken about it.
Wait till I post this on Instagram. Oh, the motherfucking insecure boys are going to get very upset. Oh my god, I can't fucking wait.
Now, I don't know how he does it, but he does make me cringe every time he talks. Kind of impressive, but also a bit tiring. The idea that he thinks that people don't like him or are criticising him just because he's wearing a dress. It's not that, really. I just don't think he's pulling it off, personally. But he has fully convinced himself of this idea, and he is even posting about it on Instagram now. He posted a picture of some blokes in dresses, and then he followed it up with a crazy caption. These guys are firefighters, and I don't see any hate comments. Why would that be? Fair play to them all for having fun and looking good. Now, Paul Breach isn't a firefighter, but he does get flamed as much as one. But I will reiterate, people aren't speaking out against Paul Breach because he's wearing a dress. They're speaking out about Paul Breach because of his past behaviour, and that was going on way before he put on a dress. Either way, he had, by this point, fully convinced himself that this was the reason people had a problem with him. But he kept beefing the people on TikTok, and it's about everything you would expect it to be.
Hey, this will all be over. You'll have to sit with yourself and know you did this for views and... Oh, Derek, that's why I make TikToks.
I don't know if he's pretending to give back shots here, but that's not an image you'll be able to get out of your head. And I still don't really know what he's saying, but he did keep going.
I don't do it to fix global warming. I do it for you to watch it. And you know what, Flower Fairy? I think that might not be your real name, but it might be.
As strange as it sounds.
You watched it.
I guess he's saying that he's view baiting and it is working, and to be fair to him, you know, it is working. With that in mind, I will just never understand the mentality of doing anything for views. Because sure, a number on an app is going up for you, but is it worth becoming a social pariah for that number going up? I don't think it is, man, because every time he leaves the house, as we've seen, he is recorded. Doesn't seem fun, but it also does seem like he's dying on this hill, because there is no way back.
I will sit down with myself, I promise you, in 78 more years, and I'll look at myself when you made TikToks for people to watch.
We need to get word to Jarl Balgruuf to send whatever troops he can.
Think you are.
I mean, I will say, Paul, I don't think you've got 78 years or whatever it was you said. You're not 18, although you might think you are. You are 44. It might all actually come down to that. All of his behaviour can kind of be explained by him thinking he is actually 18, especially all the creepy, weird stuff. To be fair, like, that is a good theory.
And I look divine. I look slave. I look like a king and a queen. And a pookie.
Yeah, I think we've seen enough of this. Let's move on. Because Paul, otherwise, has actually been going on the offensive. While he is throwing stones from a glass house, he is actually justified in what he's saying. The worst person you know, he actually made a great point.
Robbie, thank you for the follows. Corey, thanks for those. It's really upsetting. More than those nasty words that weird YouTubers made. Where are you now? Where are you now? In hiding. Silence is deafening. Paris Ryan, thank you. Silence is deafening.
Now, this is like Christmas for Paul Breach, and admittedly, he's had 44 of them, but this could be the best one. There's a couple of YouTubers that had made a lot of videos on Paul Breach. They had, to put it lightly, done some stuff. And we're not going to go into it too much, because if you know who Paul Breach is, then you are probably already aware. The situations are terrible, and Paul Breach fully ran with them.
Make sure you answer allegations. Unless it's towards you, and then you're not going to say nothing, are you? Emmy, hi, thank you, Roses. Tyler, I've been a nasty girl.
He's fully right, and this is a rare win for Paul. God knows he needed a win. They were beyond hypocrites, but by putting their criticism back at them, he is kind of admitting that it is a valid criticism. And with that in mind, he is kind of shooting himself in the foot. It's a bit like a murder-suicide, but you can't win them all. But upon hearing what I'm Alex and Lewis Buckin did, this is the happiest we've seen Paul.
Hello, Alex. Have a great day.
He's not been as happy since he opened that Snapchat account for fans. I mean, he needed a win. He really did. And basically, every video those guys made is now just completely obsolete. When you look back at them, and they are now very weird.
Don't see a difference, to be honest. I'm 100%, apart from maybe the lips, the eyes there, just maybe all of it. But you know, I won't tell if you don't tell.
You are a grown man, an adult, right? Get off Snapchat, right? I feel like I'm a criminal.
Well, I mean, yeah, Paul Breach is now fully milking this as if it absolves his past.
Here we go again. I'm sure I've made videos like this in the past. Lessons don't get learned, but we'll see what goes on. So it turns out, another blue-tipped individual who likes to talk about other content creators for banters, laughs, make themselves the internet celebrity that they call themselves. Well, it turns out, things they've been doing in their private life aren't quite right.
I mean, you know it's serious when Paul Breach isn't in a silly, goofy mood. But to be fair on this one, I do just have to let him cook.
Tables have turned. Things aren't looking too good for you. Hi.
So we'll let him have his time in the sun. Not too long, to be fair. He will burn very easily. But this has clearly gone to his head. And judging by his Instagram, he now thinks he is God. Anytime a bloke thinks he's God, you know, we're on the precipice of something bad happening. And when it's a man whose personal philosophy is if there's green grass on the pitch, then play ball. You know, we should probably avoid that happening. Either way, like and sub. And when it does happen, you'll see it here. And other than that, I'll leave you with one more lesson.
I'm not an 18-year-old girl, people. I'm not an 18-year-old girl.
Well, despite what they say, I guess we aren't what we eat. Oh, mate, that's a joke Paul Breach would make. I don't know if I can keep that one in.
Paul Breach, also known as Snapshot Eye, is a man in his 40s from the United Kingdom. He would go viral for his video dancing to a song called Green Green Grass, giving him hundreds of thousands of subscribers and a massive ego. You see, after Paul had amassed all of these followers on TikTok, he decided to live stream quite often. And though Paul might not even know it today, he was creating some of the very first NPC content. Because that's just who Paul is. He is a walking NPC who has done some very disturbing things. More on that here in a bit. The reason I call Paul an NPC is not only because of the cringy behavior, but it's also the fact that he will respond to people in the room that aren't even there. And he does stuff similar to this all the time, trying to convince the viewers, but I truly believe more so himself, that he is capable of normal social interaction.
Oh, bless you, love. Bless you. Love. Fucking hell. Jacob, thanks for the follow. So much. That is a fucking cracking impression of me, love. How you do that? Jesus, my life.
Little did anyone know at the time that this was just the tip of the iceberg when it came to all aspects of Paul Breach. There was something entertaining in a man that was 40, wearing skinny jeans, doing cringy TikTok dances, obviously trying to relive his youth. But there was also something disturbing about Paul, something that people couldn't quite put their finger on yet, but they had a good idea of what was going on. People were noticing that Paul would only respond to girls in the comments, and it would usually be in a flirtatious manner. As we know, a large base of viewership on TikTok is children, so this behavior alone was pretty suspect, and it caused people to dig a little deeper into Paul's background. It would start off with them finding his Instagram, where they noticed that he had liked several photos of clearly underage girls. Another massive red flag, but it gets so much worse. People started coming forward with DMs that Paul had sent them. Usually these kids were either cancer survivors or other children from vulnerable backgrounds. When called out on this, Paul classically denies all of it, saying that he never messaged any kids. In fact, he broke off any conversation with anyone under the age of 18, all proven to be a lie.
If you are under 18, I will not be continuing this conversation. And she said, no, she's going to be 17. She's going to be 17 next month, next whatever. So, left it at that. Very polite lady. But yeah, won't be continuing the conversation as pointed into the thing. So bada bing, bada boom.
Now let's get into Paul Breach's most morally reprehensible act. After finding out all this weird stuff on Paul, people started bringing it up in his comments, and of course he disabled them. But this would not be the end of people looking into Paul Breach and his questionable past. You see, somebody found a Facebook account from 2014 where they saw a picture of Paul and his kid. They also saw a picture of Paul and his baby mama. Noticing a very obvious age gap between Paul and his baby mama, people dug even deeper to discover that Paul Breach's baby mama was 17 years old when she gave birth to their son. Paul was nearly 30, and whenever Paul is called out on this, he gives the classic defense of, she's 17, it was legal.
Who?
Your child?
Yeah, what's that got to do with absolutely anything?
I know, but when people are saying you've got a 17-year-old pregnant when you're nearly 30, man, it's a bit mad, isn't it?
Cammy, would you think, now, because you are an intelligent bloke, right, would you think if I'd done anything wrong that I would still be on the internet and not have been arrested? Full stop sentence.
Right, are you allowed to see your child?
Yeah.
Are you?
But then I'm not talking about my family after that, because I don't talk about my family on here, for obvious reasons. It's your choice to follow me, unfollow me, perfectly. It's your choice to have an opinion on me. But again, I'm sitting here after 3 years of being on TikTok, drinking out of a McDonald's cup, dancing on the internet, being me.
Yeah, it's legal, but it's not right, is it?
Again, Cammy, your opinion is your opinion, and you're allowed that. So, what do you mean, why is that?
Why am I the only male who spoke to in 3 months? Yeah, but I'm on about males. Why don't you speak to many males?
Because I don't like many males, I like many females.
As you can see, Paul neither confirms nor denies any of the allegations, but the evidence is out there. And shortly after all this information was revealed, TikTok banned his account. As I'm sure most of you predicted, he returned almost immediately to gain more subs than ever, all while never having his comments turned on. I truly believe that Paul Breach is the godfather of NPC content, because he would just respond to comments that didn't even exist in his videos. In this video I'm about to show you, you can clearly see that there is no chat. Paul is completely making up these comments that he's responding to.
I hope things are good with you, Bob. Have you sent me your voice note, Dad? Have you sent me your voice? Bear with me.
What are you?
Speak soon, Rachel. Keep being you, with your Welsh twang. I said twang, nothing else. Yeah, you. Yeah, you're the only person called Quint. Now, why you, Moody? I'm gonna go look at your beautiful picture. I'm gonna go listen to your semi-passive-aggressive accent.
I legitimately do not know what Paul is thinking with these. I'm not sure if he thinks it's funny, I'm not sure if he thinks we believe it, I really don't know. But I think you guys are beginning to get the pure, unfiltered cringe that is Paul Breach's TikToks. Paul thinks people are there to watch him because they think he's handsome and entertaining, when in reality people just want to sit back and watch the cringe, have a laugh. And of course, all these accusations of pedophilia kind of unrestrain people in that regard. As much as people despised Paul for all these accusations, there is always going to be one or two that see the opportunity to get some of that sweet, sweet clout. Paul had over 1 million followers on his TikTok, he was filling out cameo requests, and living out of very nice hotels. When people started seeing all this, sure enough, a couple 18, 19-year-old girls went to go and hang out with Paul, and one of them even ended up dating him. This is a 40-year-old man. He's old enough to be these girls' fathers, and he's also a very well-known degenerate. So when during one stream, Paul asks this girl to try on certain types of clothing so he can take certain types of pictures of her, I can't say I was surprised. Still very disturbed, but not surprised.
Look how nice this wall is. This wall is going to be amazing for photos later. You need to start getting ready. You got to go get all your stuff.
Yeah.
Your outfit changes. You need to get all your outfit changes. And you need to go and sort all that malarkey out.
Yeah.
And then we can take photos and it'll be majestic. Is that my hand? Yeah, that's my hand.
Let me back to the bed.
Yeah, that's not me.
No.
Owen height, learn height. Right, so we're going to go and do... Yeah. So yeah, and then you go get your stuff and then we can crack on that, yeah?
But I'm still full.
Well, maybe if they stop looking at videos of me, and be fucking better, and you'll feel better.
What's the time?
I don't know.
6:30.
Yeah.
Oh, the fire.
Because you'll be easily distracted, innit? Lee, can I tell you? Read them. Can't read them. But yeah, if we do go sort out your outfits or whatever, and then we do these photos, we go crazy.
I don't really know much about lies. What's like the little things in the bottom right corner?
So yeah, so if we look at stuff, then we can like crack on with life. Jesus. And see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah? Kiss bang, have a wonderful new year. And yeah, I'm gonna go and do some busy stuff. Hi. Bye.
As I stated previously, Paul was living out of nice hotels, making a decent chunk off of Cameo. He had a 19-year-old girlfriend who he didn't know was clearly only with him for the clout. And even though everyone across the internet was making videos on him being a pedo, his massive ego allowed him to block all that out. Paul's ego truly was his greatest superpower, as well as his greatest enemy. While it made the criticism hurt less, it also made him want material things more, like new shoes, nice hotels. Paul was absolutely terrible with money management. And it seemed like 1 month he was so awful at it that he had to live out of his tent. Mr. Worldwide here went from nice luxury hotels to living out of a tent, and he didn't want anybody else to see it that way. He had even prepped his audience for this a couple weeks in advance. He started talking about how he just needed to feel the earth under him and that he needed to indulge in what he called wild camping. Basically, everyone knew the truth. They knew that Paul had been so bad with his money that he had to resort to living in a tent for the next month until he got paid. Magically, the girlfriend wasn't seen anymore after that, but Paul would continue business as usual, all from the luxury of his tent.
Am I okay? I am fantastic.
Baby, do you love me like I love you?
I need to pack. Fuck it up, man.
Paul was also losing steam with the TikTok algorithm around this time. He resorted to various other gimmicks to try to juice it back up. Most notable of these being his two characters that he created, Woman and Old Woman. Believe it or not, these videos are exactly what he needed, and they got over 1 million views each. Paul may have thought that his popularity was growing, when in reality, it was his notoriety. Not only has Paul released numerous viral videos himself, but he's also had hit pieces made on him that went viral too. They're not really hit pieces, to be honest. All they do is talk about the truth and the information that's obviously out there. But think about it, guys. Millions of people have seen Paul's face, and they know what he's done. He has truly become the Chris Chan of England, because I've seen numerous videos of him out there just trying to get some groceries, and people either are filming him or going up to him and confronting him. He is very well known around the UK, and sometimes it doesn't always work out the best for him.
Oi, why do you talk 16-year-old girls? What? Why do you talk 16-year-old girls? Who's 16? Huh? Who's 16? Why are you filming this? Should we go talk to the police? Should we be nice? No, that's...
Paul thought that he had it all figured out after this confrontation. When he told this kid that he was going to call the police, the kid just ran away. He thought, perfect, I can do this to anybody who comes up to me and confronts me on these accusations. But Paul wasn't so lucky when he ran into 3 people who weren't quite as afraid of him or the police.
Say I'm a pedo.
Alright, you ready?
You're a pedo. Yup. What?
Shall I video you? You are, go. Hide your face.
What are you saying?
There you go.
Can you post me on TikTok?
No.
Fuck. I swear you're a pedo.
You say what you're saying. I'm loving it. Loving it, bless you. You're having fun, aren't you? Hide your face.
talk to people that aren't there, bro.
Oh, bless you. Have fun recording, right? Allowing this on your
Yeah, bro. You sit on your live and pretend to talk to people that aren't there, bro. I swear, alright, in a bit.
That right there is the price of internet fame, especially if there are pedo accusations against you. Paul is probably one of the most well-known and infamous TikTok predators. He seems to be unapologetic about what he's done, about what he's attempting to do, and I don't see him changing anytime soon. No matter how many times his account is deleted or he is banned, he always returns within a couple days. Seems like there's no getting rid of him. But that's all we have on Paul Breach today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This one's kind of one that I've always had on the back burner. I've always wanted to make a video over it. I didn't know much about the situation, but I do now, and I gotta say, it was a wild ride. Thank you guys so much for watching, especially till the end. Big shout out to all my channel members, and I hope that you all have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, wherever you are. Just have a good one, and be sure to keep it Kiwi. Meet Donovan Mayo.
This is my Merithian Master Blade. I actually forged it out of the Merithian candle. I was role-playing with minors, but didn't know at the time.
There you are.
My reputation does perceive me. Yes, I am the so-called blood. The smell of the undead, my fave.
Enough! Donovan Mayo is a 21-year-old TikTok content creator and a massive fan of the popular Minecraft YouTuber Dream. You see, Dream had a private Minecraft server called Dream SMP, and old Donovan here was so obsessed with it that he would make a live-action version of it all on his own. And so, with a couple paper plates, some pieces of tape, and a whole lot of can-do attitude, the Donovan Mayo live-action SMP universe hit the ground running. He would create a whole fictional universe in his head and on film, populated by different versions of Dream. The prime example, and probably my favorite character that he has created, is an extremely edgy one called Lost Dream. Lost Dream is basically every edgy anime trope rolled up into one, creating the most basic bad guys imaginable. Arming himself with a plastic sword and a Nerf gun, he is quite the imposing figure.
I always say, if you can't hide the blood, I don't want it on my rug. Well, I just made that up today. The smell of the undead, my fave. I wish Dad could see me now. Maybe I should visit Daddy D. To let him see the bloodshed I caused in the server. Here I come, Dad. You're my next victim. Oh. Brother, how's it going? I hope you like what I've done with the place. Nothing's wrong. Everything's just completely right. You're right. This isn't me. And you aren't you.
While his live-action SMP content was surely the most entertaining, Donovan's TikTok was not just limited to this. He would also do food reviews and dancing videos. And it was during one of these food reviews that he would create his most viral video to date. While we can't listen to the music because it's copyright, I think that you guys get the general picture. It's just him eating a sticky bun, being absolutely filthy about it. Most people commenting just, he can't keep getting away with this. This sticky bun video would bring a lot of eyes to Donovan Mayo's TikTok page. And when people discovered the Dream SMP live-action project that he was undertaking, as well as his Chris Chan-esque vibe, trolls began to quickly accumulate and try to prod Donovan for anything that would bug him. And sure enough, they would discover one thing that got under his skin. People started adding Donovan under LGBTQ videos, much to the dismay of Mr. Mayo.
Why do people always bring this up on my mention? Listen.
Listen.
I don't care about the LGBTQ community. People are allowed to date whoever they want, whatever gender they want, however they want. I'm just letting bygones be bygones. But still, stop putting that on my mentions. I am sick and tired of seeing that every single time. It just makes me want to leave TikTok. People, stop adding me in gay things I've already seen. It's getting ridiculous. And totally uncalled for. Enough!
The parallels here between Donovan Mayo and Chris Chan are not lost on me. Threatening people with toy firearms over being sent videos. And just like Chris, I feel like a lot of this goes back to Donnie trying to prove that he's straight. He uses his TikTok to flirt with girls. Sometimes they're not all of age, more on that later, but that's why he wants it out there that he doesn't want to be sent those kind of videos, because just like Chris, he doesn't want people getting the wrong idea. The trolls did this numerous times and got numerous responses, which seems to be a common theme with Donnie Mayo. People will crack jokes or make references and they'll go right over his head. Like the time someone asked him to do the roar.
A roar, huh? Better?
I feel for the unwashed, uneducated masses who have not witnessed the glory that is Shrek 4. While Donovan may not know much about the Shrek franchise, what he does know about is anime and Japanese culture. Not only will he talk about anime constantly, talk about how much he loves Japan and their culture, but he will also do these little bows when he's done speaking, as well as his live-action universe taking heavy inspiration from many different animes. He absolutely loves Japan, and when he saw a TikTok commenter asking him what his favorite things were from Japan, he hopped at the opportunity to show off his swag.
That's an easy answer. My answer is a kimono and an openable fan. Those are my only two favorite things. I mean, there is other stuff I like, but I just mostly like it for that in general. I even like their festivals and the cherry blossoms. I love a lot of things about Japan. In fact, I'm also a big fan of the Kamen Rider stuff. Speaking of which, I heard they're doing a new Kamen Rider called Kamen Rider Geats. It's a weird name, I know. But hey, I don't question their names. Is there something I'm forgetting? The desserts. They are the best. Especially the mochi. Actually, is mochi Japanese? No, I'll look it up later.
This man of complete culture does not even know how to pronounce mochi. As a matter of fact, there are quite a few things that he gets wrong about Japanese culture in this video. First of all, I really don't think that's a kimono. I think kimonos cover up a little bit more than that. What he has there is something else entirely. This guy is your stereotypical anime lover who identifies as a Japanese person on the inside. One of those people who claim that they were born in the wrong nation and as soon as they have the ability, they're gonna move to Japan to find the waifu of their dreams. And that's a perfect segue to the reason why I made this video. The allegations against Donovan and the general creepiness that he has displayed in numerous TikToks. As I stated before, Donovan uses this platform to flirt with other content creators. And that plays back to why he was so angry he was being sent LGBTQ videos. He wants his fans to see this straight, available, handsome man. And in this pursuit, he has created a number of extremely creepy TikToks, like this one I'm about to show you, which quite frankly sends chills down my spine every time.
Come here. Just want to let you know that you did such a good job today. There you are. Come here. Just want to let you know that you did such a good job today. I'm so proud of you. You're such a good girl.
Donovan really thought this would do the trick, that this would get him the ladies. Meanwhile, we're all out here getting Meat Canyon vibes. It would be videos like this that would drastically change the public opinion on Donovan Mayo, and would prompt many to take a deeper look into just what he's been up to, coming across numerous disturbing things like the fact that Donnie had added and followed numerous underage TikTok creators. But the worst was yet to come, and it all began when a new original character was added to his live-action SMP. This character was called Phoenix Dream, a character who is sometimes voiced by a female friend of his. We would not know until recently that this person was 14, and because of that, I will not be including any clips featuring this person's voice. But even when she's not there and Donovan has to have her part played by some simple text boxes, the way he talks to the character is unnerving.
SMP welcoming video for Phoenix Dream and her SMP. Enjoy. Hey brother, they're here now. Good, send them in. You may come in. Miss Phoenix Dream, please have a seat. It's a pleasure to have you by our side. Welcome to our SMP. This is my Merithian Master Blade. I actually forged it out of the Merithian candle. Quite a rare specimen, if you ask me. We actually forge all our weapons into artifacts or from beasts. But enough about that. We are here to discuss that our SMPs are enjoying an alliance. Then may the little dreamers join with yours. Welcome.
This video is pretty tame compared to the next video I'm about to show you, because it's basically the final nail in the coffin. The video consists of Donovan's original character, the Edgelord Lost Dream, hunting down and kidnapping Phoenix Dream. While that's really creepy in and of itself, it's when he asks Phoenix Dream out on a date in return for her release where things go off the rails.
This is the last time I'm asking you, buddy. Where is this Phoenix Dream everyone talks about? Take a look. Don't play with me, you... Never mind. I think I'm having fun. Like my handiwork? Whoa! You surely are a feisty one, aren't you? Livestream.exe at your service.
You picked a bad time to get boxed.
My reputation does precede me. Yes, I am the so-called blood. And I want a proposition for you. Go on a date with me, and I'll spare everyone. Even the ones I haven't killed. Deal?
No one knew at the time that Phoenix Dream was actually a 14-year-old girl. And when people finally saw images of her and heard her talking as Phoenix Dream, they quickly pieced 2 and 2 together. Donovan Mayo had been on the internet for 2 years now, and he had endured a little bit of trolling. But now he had been outed as a person who was role-playing with a 14-year-old kid. This all led to a massive backlash from his fans and audience. His comment section would be filled with almost exclusively hate, and people would be reporting his channel constantly. And after a while of trying to just sweep this all under the rug, it seemed like Donnie figured out that this was here to stay. So he decided to create an apology video explaining his side of the story.
Hello everyone, my name is Donovan Mayo, aka Donovan Mayo 46. I'm widely known on TikTok as a cosplayer and roleplayer, but behind the scenes, I was roleplaying with minors but didn't know at the time. I didn't care to ask their age, and this was my fault on my part, being the older one. In fact, here's one of the messages that I was role-playing with. Someone was asking, is this secret between us? Maybe people will think I'm too young for you. And in reply I said, it's all secret. Besides, my age is unlisted and unknown. And furthermore I said, now stop playing coy with me. Your #1 fan is waiting. Besides, I have something for you. Sorry, something with me. Don't worry about it. But I'm afraid they did worry about it. Either way, in a live stream, I also said that I tied someone up, which was a lie. But that wasn't cool. Last I checked. So I am making action and making sure that this never happens again. So this is to all my followers that I am sorry. This is me doing the thug shaker. To prove that I am truly sorry and serious about all this. That is all. Thank you very much for hearing me out. Donovan Mayo out. For good.
The lack of self-awareness to hit the thug shaker and expect it to be an adequate apology for these accusations is staggering. I don't think that he understands the severity of what he's done. I don't think he's sorry. I think he's merely sorry that he's been caught. He also lied about not knowing her age. He literally contradicted himself in his own apology video, where he reads chat logs about them discussing her age. It's all very disturbing, but you can take solace in the fact that Donnie Mayo's TikTok account has been banned. And for that reason, I have to give a big shout out to a couple YouTube channels, because some of these clips I could not find anywhere else. Those channels are GeoGeo and CQH. Both of their channels will be linked in the description below. Big shout out to GeoGeo and CQH. Thank you guys for archiving this. And thank you guys for watching. That's about all we have on Donnie Mayo today. Rest assured that if he comes back, I'll keep an eye out, I'll keep you guys informed. But for now, it seems like he has left TikTok in disgrace. I want to thank you once again for watching this video, especially till the end. Big shout out to all my channel members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope that you all have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, wherever you are. Just have a good one. And be sure to keep it Kiwi.
Enough!
Meet Johnny Elbows.
You and I is not friends no more. Mario. Big boy pants.
People are clamoring for twerks, Johnny. They want twerking. Uh-oh. There it is. Whoa, Johnny, oh, the gritty.
Jonathan Thornington, also known as Johnny Elbows, is a man in his late 30s from a small town in Nebraska. And truth be told, we don't know much about Johnny's life well into his adulthood. What we do know about Johnny is that he enjoys walking around town, going to the library, going fishing, and meeting new people. And it was during a chance encounter with a man named Mario that this story begins. Mario was one of the various people that Johnny had met while walking around town. They had developed a friendship to the point where Mario would pull over and talk to Johnny whenever he saw him. And for some reason, Mario decided to record one of their encounters, posting it to TikTok and exposing the entire internet to Johnny Elbows.
How's it going? Don't do that, please. Why?
Want some nut? Right? Hey!
You gotta be quicker than that, buddy.
This video would go far more viral than Mario ever anticipated, and after seeing that he could use Johnny to accumulate social media followers and create content, he decided to strike up a further friendship with him, leading to what I call the Gritty Saga. Johnny and Mario would make TikToks and go live on Mario's account, getting millions of views in the process. The content mainly consisted of them going live at a public park where Johnny would dance for the chat and regale them with tales of his life.
Let's go. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is amazing, Johnny. Dude, this is great. Dude, people are really missing out if they're not watching this right now. What's Johnny gonna do now? Oh my god, Johnny, what are you doing? What are you doing? Whoa, Johnny, oh, the gritty. Look at the gritty, dude. That was amazing. Yeah.
Johnny was a big hit on TikTok. In a short amount of time, they had accumulated hundreds of thousands of followers and millions of views. It seemed like there was no stopping the rise of Johnny Elbows. That is, until Johnny found himself in his first controversy, although this one would be pretty minor in comparison to the ones he would be involved in the near future. Johnny was dancing on livestream one day, as he usually did. The chat was demanding twerking from Johnny, as was Mario. Ever the people pleaser, Johnny complied, only for chat to pick up on a not so subtle detail.
People are clamoring for twerks, Johnny. They want twerking. Uh-oh. There it is. Johnny's twerking. He's twerking up a storm. Johnny drops it low. Johnny, we're almost at 5 million, dude.
I never got that far.
Never, never, never. They want to know if you had a poopy accident.
No, it's this. I was sitting on a wet paint, and it spilled my pants.
Yes. See, everybody, just wet paint.
It's just wet paint.
Very few people believed that it was wet paint, and it would become a topic of discussion in the community for the months to come. But it would very soon be eclipsed by the creation of Johnny's own TikTok account, which would lead to some very interesting incidents, as well as the creation of a new saga. A big focal point of Johnny's TikTok was him discussing his love life, talking about all the girls that he had been with in his over 30 years on this planet. My favorite of which being this quote-unquote cougar that Johnny unintentionally insults for like a minute straight.
She's 46, and she wanted to be my friend. Pretty, long hair. She does smoke a lot. I told her, you got a deep voice like a man. I know, John, but I smoke a lot. So. And that's about it. They called me up and they said, hey, John, how's it going? I'm good. Can we be friends? I need someone to... Yeah, you just need a fuck buddy.
Johnny has talked about 3 or 4 such cases that he's been involved in, and they quickly became one of the hottest topics of discussion in his TikTok comments, where Johnny would also attempt to flirt with some of his fans. Like in many other cases, trolls smelt this from a mile away, and began to formulate personas to catfish Johnny Elbows, leading us to the Candy and Sandy saga. Candy and Sandy are either one troll or a collection of many of them. Johnny believes them to be 2 women who are extremely attractive and extremely interested in him. He has tried many times to get them to come visit him in his hometown, only for them to turn him down and lead Johnny to create a somber video.
Well, Candy and Sandy, I just want to... Oh, shit. Am I recording? Yeah. Sandy and Candy. I don't know, I'm doing my own thing right now.
Johnny's relationship with these trolls has been rocky, to say the least, because Candy and Sandy have woven this elaborate tale that creeps into every aspect of Johnny's life, and have also gotten Johnny to do some pretty compromising things while under their influence.
You don't have to come to Logan to see me, ladies. I'll just be fine by myself. And tell the other lady she can delete my pictures of my wiener and everything else. And delete my number, and I'll delete your number too. You don't have to worry about me.
As I said before, I'm not even sure if Candy and Sandy have remained the same person during this whole saga. It could have very well been anyone calling themselves Sandy or Candy in his TikTok comments. Johnny has doxed his mobile phone number before to try to get back in contact with Candy and Sandy, leading to nothing but increased attention from the trolls, who would take the story of Candy and Sandy to the next level, with elaborate subplots centered around cheating and a mysterious individual named Tyrone.
Sandy and Candy, if you girls want to follow your journey about meeting some other people, go right ahead, 'cause you're not gonna hurt my feelings. If you guys want to flirt with any guys you want, go ahead. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. If you want to cheat on me, I don't care. Just
You're not supposed
Just
to
don't
be
do it in
here.
front of me. If you do it in front of me, that's okay. Because I'm better off staying single for a while. I'm getting tired of girls breaking my heart every single damn day. And Candy and Sandy, I know you girls don't want to break my heart, but if you guys decided to break my heart in the future, go right ahead, because it won't hurt my feelings. And Candy, go ahead and cheat on me. I don't care. And if you call me, don't call me.
Of course.
I'm still mad at you. And I'm deleting your number off my phone. Forever. Don't worry about coming down here in the summertime. Do not come down here in the summertime. Stay where you at. You're better off staying there. In Texas. All guys putting their bodies on you. And Tyrone, be good to her. Just be nice to Candy and tell her you love her every single morning, every single night. Just tell her, I'm sorry I kidnapped you before and everything else. You gotta apologize to her, and if she don't accept your apology, then back away from her, let her have her own space, and eventually she'll forgive you. And Tyrone, good luck with Candy.
Despite all of the hardship that Candy and Sandy had put Johnny through, he still remained faithful to them. He desperately wanted them to come visit him, but still wouldn't let distance diminish the spark that they felt for each other. Here is a video that Johnny made for Candy and Sandy, filmed at a public library.
Can't wait to see you girls in real life.
Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything.
That's me.
As you can see, Johnny perceived Sandy and Candy to be an on-again, off-again relationship. It didn't matter if they had left him for a man that had previously kidnapped them. Hell, Johnny even said it didn't matter if they cheated on him, just as long as they kept it a secret. But one thing that Johnny couldn't tolerate was Sandy and Candy leaving him for his friend Mario. The trolls began to convince Johnny that Mario was a part of this wider plot to steal his girlfriends away from him. From things like Mario is taking them out on a date, to them telling Johnny that Mario just stole their car. This caused a lot of problems in Johnny and Mario's friendship, with Johnny turning on Mario almost every week.
I can't believe what you told me. You're such a loser, Mario. No one likes you. Why'd you take Candy's car and keys? Why'd you take her car and keys for? You and I is not friends no more, Mario. Big boy pants. We're not friends no more, Mario. I can't believe what you're doing this to me. I'm not gonna do this again and again. You're on your own, Mario. I'm not your friend. And the cops will come after you. And I gave someone your number. And when they call you, ooh, you better run, boy. You better run. You better run your whole life. And just give up at the police station. Turn yourself in.
And Johnny wasn't just mad at Mario for this, but also Candy and Sandy.
Damn it.
I can teach
So, girl, if you get this, go take a hike and make a tree and take a hike, little bitch. And if you don't want to spend time with my best friend, and that's about it.
Johnny would make a number of threatening and disturbing videos about Candy and Sandy. They had gotten him so worked up that he was in a state I had never seen him before, and this continued for quite some time. Candy and Sandy had him under their thumb for the majority of Johnny's run on TikTok, but this didn't mean that he questioned their reality at certain points, because numerous times Johnny came so close to figuring it all out, only for Candy and Sandy to lie again, saying they would take him back.
I'm sorry I'm saying this to you girls, but every time I see how your day is and everything, you guys don't love me. You just love my money. And I can't handle that no more. I gotta focus on my other life.
This kind of reminds me of The Truman Show. Johnny is at that point of questioning reality so much that it's driving him up the wall. He doesn't know what's real or fake anymore. People had told him things like Mario was a kidnapper, and that some man from Russia was responsible for everything. There were numerous times that Mario had to explain to him that none of these things he was accused of had happened, and that him feeding into the situation would only lead to more trolling. During the whole Candy and Sandy saga, Mario and Johnny were still meeting up to film together. They were still doing the live streams, still hitting the gritty, but sadly, the Johnny Elbows story was about to take a drastic turn. One day during a live stream, Johnny and Mario were being followed around by a group of kids. Johnny had had trouble in the past with kids following him around and giving him a tough time, and he was frustrated with the situation, even kicking a table out of anger. None of this would be held against Johnny. It's a pretty normal reaction to being harassed, but people would take a big issue with one of the comments that Johnny made during this live stream, particularly about the appearance of one of these kids that was harassing him.
They won't bother you, you know what I mean? No, John, what, John? No, dude, no, dude.
No, not her. Not her.
I had you figured for me.
No, dude, no, man. No, dude. No, bro, that's not, no, bro.
In one single sentence, Johnny Elbows had ended his TikTok career. Mario almost immediately after ended the stream trying to explain away what had happened, but this would not stop people from clipping the live stream and spreading it across the internet, and the negative reaction was fairly swift. Johnny had been a near universally beloved character up until this point, who was now being heavily criticized for his comment. Johnny tried to explain the situation away by saying that he just liked her pants, but I believe this holds about as much water as the wet paint argument. After seeing all of the negative reaction by the public, Mario would distance himself from Johnny, making a video disavowing all of the things that Johnny had said and stating that they would no longer be filming content together. It was clear from the beginning that Mario was not a true friend to Johnny and only saw him as a mechanism for profit, which is why he waited for the public to react negatively before distancing himself from Johnny, in my humble opinion. After being denounced by his community and cut off by Mario, Johnny would make an apology video of his own, stating that he was sorry for everything that he had done and would be leaving the platform very soon.
Hello everybody from TikTok.
If you'll
I'm not coming on this one. I'm sorry, everybody in this whole planet. I'm not on TikTok anymore. I'm just gonna do this one last time, and one last time only. And that officer I talked to, FBI or something, ended up in jail for a while. Then after that, hopefully, had no problems in Missouri Valley, but here, had a little problem with people, getting along with people.
After posting this apology video, Johnny would create a few more TikToks before going dark. I believe by the advice of his family. Johnny had leaked his phone number numerous times, and his most recent comments had led to an influx of hate messages. So Johnny would leave TikTok, and this is where the story ends in a great many videos about the situation. But I have uncovered a couple of recent events in Johnny Elbow's lore, as well as some rumors as to what the future might hold. The first video I found was taken around May. A fellow TikToker just walking the streets of Johnny's hometown spotted him and decided to film 2 short TikToks with Johnny. This was the first time in months that Johnny had been seen on the internet.
Go to Bleak Falls Barracks.
Fucking elbows.
Johnny! The Dragon Stone of...
Ah, shit! Have a good one, Johnny! Woo! You gotta be quicker than that, buddy!
This video would mostly fly under the radar for Johnny stans, and I can't blame them as not much was revealed in them, other than the fact that Johnny now had a bike and was bicycling around town. We wouldn't see Johnny again for yet another month, but this time he would post a TikTok of his own, talking about a new group of friends that he had, and how much he loved working for them.
Johnny Elbows here. I'm always here working with these other guys that are friends of mine. They always put me to work. They're my friends, and I always like them so much. They're my best friends.
And other than a short video of him dancing on what looks to be a pile of sand, we have not seen Johnny Elbows online since. But there have been some rumblings on his Reddit as to some disturbing things that might have happened in Johnny's past, and some of these comments might give us some insight as to what the future holds for the situation. Before I go any further, I want to make it very clear that none of this is substantiated. It's all rumor and accusation. Most of it comes from Reddit, so that says a lot, so take it all with a pinch of salt. A post was made by a throwaway account on the Johnny Elbows subreddit titled, "Johnny Elbows SA'd my little sister when we were children." The OP claims to be the older sister of someone who Johnny SA'd in a public pool when they were children. The post is lengthy and includes a lot of information that is correct about the locations that Johnny was in his past, but as I stated before, none of this can be confirmed. The reason I bring up this post at all is because it saw some activity for the first time in 9 months very recently. The OP had told her story and the thread had set for 9 months until another throwaway account appeared out of nowhere to comment. This new account replied to nearly every person on the subreddit, stating that the Reddit who made this post is fake. It is all written by AI. Johnny's family is seeking legal counsel to sue these people, as he's never been charged with anything illegal. He has the mental capacity of an 8-year-old. This account would also state that Johnny now resides in Kansas and that his family are currently in talks with legal representation. I cannot stress enough that all of the Reddit stuff is completely theory. There is no evidence to back any of this up, but I still wanted to include it because this was the last trace that I could find of the Johnny Elbows story. I have no idea if they're actually seeking legal representation. Hell, we don't even know what Johnny is up to today. But what I do know is this: Johnny shouldn't be on social media. It is a ruthless place, and when you find yourself in a controversy similar to Johnny's, people will feel very little sympathy for you and attempt to bring you down in any way that they can. If Johnny did come back, it would only be a matter of time before he found himself in yet another controversy, or victim of another trolling scheme. I really don't know what the future holds for Johnny Elbows, but I can say for certain, it will be much better offline. Meet Leslie Clark.
What's there a cop?
No, get back. It's still here
Yo,
somewhere.
how is it freaking
Coffee
public
and Dawn just got
intoxication
grabbed and they tried to
when I'm
make a
doing
run
it at
for it.
home? You have got a sewer for a mouth.
I just threw it up. Get it. So, no, wait.
Man, I'm gonna be straight up with you. I told her how old I was. I said, I'm not allowed to talk to anybody above the age of 17.
Leslie Clark is a 25-year-old TikTok content creator from Louisiana. Leslie's main form of content on her TikTok page consists of either her singing or her doing live streams, where she will cry about boys, tell lies, and try to pull scams. And she does this all from the comfort of her grandmother's home. Leslie lives with her grandmother, and to say that the relationship is very poor would be an understatement. One of the main reasons why it is so poor is because Leslie stole her grandmother's car a couple years ago, even getting arrested and thrown in jail for it. But after Leslie was bonded out, her grandmother took her right back in. You would think that Leslie would be appreciative for the forgiveness, grateful for the roof over her head, and willing to spend the last years of her grandma's life with her. Leslie would much rather go live on TikTok, blaring loud music all throughout the house while her grandmother is trying to rest. And when she came downstairs complaining about how loud the music was, Leslie's disrespectful nature became very clear.
I didn't mean it like that though.
Then why did you say it like that?
I just did.
I can't believe it. In the very... That's what's
I'm not taking any more of your abuse, Leslie.
I think I
There's no abuse, I was just saying.
Just only one thing.
I don't know why you're making such a big deal about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Like you're making a big deal out of nothing.
Yeah, I'm making a big deal out of it because I want some respect.
I was giving you respect. I was joking the way I said it.
Her and her grandma get into it quite often on her TikTok live streams. And who could blame her? Leslie's getting drunk all the time, she's vaping all over the place, she's throwing up and not cleaning it. But that isn't even one of the main issues that Grammy has with Leslie. She's totally cool with all that happening. The only time I've seen Leslie get her really riled up is if Leslie starts cussing. It is a strict rule of that house, especially if Leslie is live streaming. And if she even catches a whiff of that dirty mouth, she's gonna let you know. Like this time, where she absolutely went off on Leslie. Because while Leslie was outside on a TikTok live stream, Grammy could hear her swearing through the walls.
Yes, ma'am.
You have got a sword for a mouth, and I hear it in there with the door closed. Don't you dare get on that phone and cuss like that again.
I've been looking. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
I think our ass in the house. God damn.
Even if Grandma's a cranky old bat, nobody deserves to be treated like that by Leslie. Having your car stolen, your home disrespected, and then having it put all over the internet. Leslie has absolutely no respect for anyone, not just Grandma. She'll go live on TikTok and blare loud music out in the streets of her neighborhood. And after doing this one night, a cop rolls up. The cop tells her to cut it out, that there's been noise complaints, and that if she keeps it up, he'll have to take her to jail. But as we previously witnessed, she has no respect for any form of authority.
I'm not going to take you to jail right now. It's a public intoxication.
It's not public. I'm doing it at home.
Okay. Partner with me here. Let me talk to you. I'm not going to arrest you right now for disturbing the peace by public intoxication.
How am I disturbing peace?
Okay, so I got a call from neighbors.
Once I'd made enough money before I met one of the caravan leaders, Madron. You do that? If you find one, I could teach you a thing or two about trading.
You could have done something until the judge. That's what you want to do?
I spend a lot of time at the market.
So I'm ready to take you to jail right now. You gonna shut up and listen to me, or you gonna be good? You keep mouthing off to me. I'm gonna take you to Donaldson.
So what happened
I got
about the
all
watch?
day long. I got
knew
all night.
I could count on your
I got 9 more hours.
Dragonborn. What do you... Not
We're
just
walking down the street.
the graybeard seem...
Don't do it. Don't do it anymore.
The dragon.
Okay.
If you
understand?
read, you heard the sound.
Leslie, if I get called back out here before you get, I'm taking you to jail.
For nothing? For absolutely nothing. Don't worry, I'll call it away. Don't worry, I'll be calling it away. Motherfucker. Yo, how is it freaking public intoxication when I'm doing it at home? When y'all see me open the bottle sitting here? And how am I being allowed?
This is only a mere snippet of the conversation that Leslie and this police officer had. I don't know if you heard this little like clicking noise in the background of that video aside from the crickets, but that was the police officer with the handcuffs in his hands clicking them, basically letting Leslie know that he's so close to taking her away. But Leslie does not care. She has no respect for police officers or the law in general, because she is well known for trying to pull scams on people to get money so she can buy either food or more vapes. The most heinous of these scams that I was able to uncover involved baby formula, something that at the time was both very expensive, it still is, and it was hard to get. Leslie claimed that her cousin had a newborn that needed formula, and they were so broke that they couldn't afford it. So Leslie took to social media, asking people to donate to her cousin so that she could buy her baby some formula. And someone who was actually trying to do something good for the world decided to give her enough money for 2 containers, only to discover that the donation link was directly to Leslie, and people began to uncover it from there. To scam someone is already bad enough, but to try to scam someone on the pretense of a hungry child is evil in my opinion. But we also have to understand that Leslie is a compulsive liar. She has made many claims of being pregnant by many different men to either get them to try to stay or give her any kind of attention, and then goes on to not only stalk these men, but talk about them years after her interactions with them. And the main 2 that I want to talk about today are Perry and Tyler. Perry not only had relations with Leslie, but he also dated her for a couple of days, definitely less than a week. Now I want you to keep in mind that this was years ago, because Leslie still talks about him to this day. She even has his name tattooed on her body. Many people thought that this was a joke, that this image was ripped straight from Google, but no, she actually has Perry's name tattooed on her body. It's her second name tattoo. Perry has been informed of this tattoo and finds it extremely creepy, and has since cut off all contact with Leslie. But this didn't stop Leslie from keeping an eye on him. As soon as she had heard that Perry had a new girlfriend, she made this video congratulating the woman. in one of her now iconic crying over boys TikToks.
This is to the girl who kissed the boy I love. Hi. I'm the ex, and I know this may sound crazy, but you got him. You got him.
Mister,
But
could you...
do me a favor?
Divine. It's what Brenna once said.
Don't break his heart.
Since she died. I wound up here, but... Really? Do you...
Always
Oh, wow.
be there for him.
Are you... Yay! Thanks, Mr.
Always have his
Papa.
back.
What is it?
Take care of him. And love him unconditionally.
Once I've made... Thank you. As promised, let me
Be
show you a
happy.
thing or two about bargaining. Don't want some about the same as everyone. Way I hear it, elsewhere ain't nothing. Yeah, it's got to be
Make
Worst
him
thing is,
know
matter
his
of fact,
worth.
I do. And Denord knows a liar when she sees one.
Always, always.
Life's hard enough with all these men.
Be by his side no matter how
Mikhail is
bad things
begging
are.
for a dagger up. I heard him boasting at the bannered mare. You want to try?
Make him
Go right
happy when
ahead.
he's sad. Be his shoulder to cry on.
Come on in. Let me know if you need anything. Take a
Come by Bellathor's shop. Come on.
Most
If it's a lady you're
importantly,
looking. Carlotta put you up to this, didn't she?
Take good care of him.
I'm sorry.
Love him. Like I
Driving me? Well, Bard does need to eat. On my ancestors' honor. You know nothing.
If you fight, he knows how to make it make up.
Really? I thank the gods. Settle for thanking you. You've got no idea. They'll never understand. Right now,
Like I did.
all that matters is my daughter Mia. No man.
Perry dated Leslie for only a couple days, years ago, and this is not the only video that she directs towards his new girlfriend. There's ones where she's flexing about her job at the Taco Bell, there's ones where she's crying about him. This has been going on for so long, and many trolls picked up on this, forming their own boyfriend personas to mess with her. Most famous of which is Tyler. But despite it being very well known that he's a fake rapper troll, she still talks about him. And whenever she's down about all this, she's sure to hop on a TikTok live where you can almost guarantee 100% that she's gonna rip ass.
Come on. There's nothing more to be said here.
Payback's a fucking bitch.
This is a local favorite.
Is there? Are you sure? Oh, please come with me. I need to speak to you privately.
I would be lying if I didn't say that I laughed way too much at that. But I wouldn't be lying if I said some of these TikToks get pretty racially charged. Sometimes this conversation about boys morphs into what kind of boys she likes, and then that morphs into what she doesn't like about certain groups of people. I had been seeing people call Leslie a racist all over the place, but I couldn't find clips of her actually being one. That is until I found what I'm about to show you. And before I show you this, I want you to keep in mind that she brings this up completely out of nowhere. It is so out of left field that the person she's talking to doesn't even know how to respond.
I'm not
They're led by a man named Kamal. I don't dare show my face unless they recognize. I heard one of them was just arrested trying to sneak into the city. If he's locked up in please, I know I'm asking you to do something difficult. Maybe even... I mean it.
What someone's race has to do with their hygiene in any way is beyond me. It just goes to show that that's the way Leslie thinks. She thinks that there is that much of a difference between people of different skin colors. But there's also a weird side to this. She's derogatory to people of African heritage, but she also seems to have a thing for them, making numerous TikToks stating that she desires a black country boy to come sweep her off her feet. I don't know if it's in response to the allegations of racism that she's now making these TikToks, claiming to be sexually attracted to black country men, But somehow, all of this is not the worst thing that Leslie's done. It's not the scamming, it's not the thievery, it's not the lies, it's not the stalking. It's crazy to say, but it's not even racism. It's the fact that on numerous occasions throughout the years, Leslie has tried to prey upon minors. And today I have 3 examples of this which we're gonna cover. Starting with the most famous, a 15-year-old boy named Ethan. When Ethan was 15, he began speaking with Leslie online, and eventually she sent him unsolicited photographs, even after he had informed her of his age. And after Ethan had told his older sister about all this, she brought it to the public's attention, and would raise awareness for what Leslie had done and tried to do to her brother. Leslie would dismiss this all as rumors until 2 years later, Ethan would hop on a live stream with Leslie and 2 other people grilling her about the pedo accusations. And what he said was nothing short of shocking.
My name's Ethan. I was 15 when she sent the nudes to me, and I'm 17 now.
You were the one? You were the one?
Yeah.
Oh my god, Ethan.
Yeah. I was 15 when she sent the nudes to me. My sister has the account logged.
Stop right there.
Yes, ma'am.
My God.
Yes, ma'am. My sister has all the login to that account, all the info. Her father even sent his to me. Like the whole family's messed up in the head.
Okay, I have a question, Ethan. And Leslie, please, did you know he was 15 when you sent those photos?
Yeah, I did.
You wear that
No, I
armor
didn't.
well.
Leslie, how old do you think he
Iron may
was?
be simple, but it'll stop enough to
somebody
keep
tell me
you
he
in
was
the
18.
fight.
What are you looking at?
Why didn't you ask him?
You have a death wish
Man,
then?
I'm gonna be straight up
If you
with
know
you.
that
I
name,
told her how
you
old
must
I
know
was.
it, but it seems we
I
both
said,
have
I'm
names,
not
right?
allowed to talk to anybody
Perhaps we
about the age of
I have
17.
dishonored my brothers
That's
by being
when she had
captive.
sent the news.
My life with the Alakir is
Did you
over.
ask for those pictures?
But I have no wish.
No, ma'am, I
See
did
to
not. I
that.
showed my sister.
I'll tell you
Look
which
at
one.
Right,
100 gold will
right
secure.
after
I
she
suppose
sent
you
them,
get the
I
money
showed
into
my
the hands
sister,
of one of these guards.
and
I'll tell you
that's
what you
when
want.
her, my
How
sister.
old are you right now?
Done.
I'm 17. He's 17.
Convince him to stay out of the city.
You're still a
while you're
baby.
at it.
Okay.
So he's not even 18 yet, Leslie.
That little bit of audio that I just had to snip out was Ethan saying that Leslie's father had done the same thing as Leslie to him. He had sent him unsolicited
You're heading east, steer
photographs.
clear of Hill
And I
Grounds
know
2.
it's sad to
See
say,
about
but
those
it
old
doesn't
crypts.
surprise me.
Dad having
This kind of
trouble staying
abuse
that way.
is often intergenerational. And like a disease, it spreads. And I truly believe that's what happened to Leslie. Because it is blatantly obvious that she has a preference for minors. Because we still have 2 more cases of this to cover. One of these lesser-known victims is a 16-year-old boy named Wyatt. Leslie was fully aware of his age the whole time, and they dated a whopping total of 11 days. After Wyatt broke up with her 11 days later, Leslie would go on to still talk about him to this day, making TikTok after TikTok crying about Wyatt, the 16-year-old who she dated. Leslie will of course always deny knowing any of their ages the whole time, but they always admit that they told her exactly how old they were. But this doesn't mean that Leslie doesn't slip up and tell the truth from time to time. Like this TikTok live stream where she admits to her crimes, but of course in the most Leslie way possible.
There's not. That is true. But back then, I learned from my mistakes. I apologized to him multiple times, and he was like, "You know what, Leslie? I'm not gonna press charges with you. I'm not gonna do it." What are you looking?
In my opinion, these kind of mistakes cannot be learned from. I think it is very deeply ingrained in their being. And it's even proven that Leslie did not learn from her mistake because we have another case to cover right now. AJ was a 16-year-old girl who Leslie was dating. And after they broke up, AJ came out as a trans male. So of course, Leslie starts berating her with every slur under the sun on social media, doxing him, calling him by his old name, all this other stuff. But the reason why I bring all that up is because Leslie herself went on to admit that she was trans months later, all in an effort to catch AJ's attention. A 16-year-old kid. Anyone who wants to make excuses for Leslie, go right on ahead, but I've just talked about 3 different cases of her soliciting minors. And that's not even all of them, guys. There will be ones that we never know about. There are lesser known ones. She has hit up so many people trying to get with them of all ages that it's hard to even keep track. And even after all of this information has been publicly made available to the internet, she still takes the moral high ground, saying that it was either one time, or they forgave her, or it was all allegations in the first place. Every time you ask her about it, you're almost gonna get a different answer. But you can bet that she does not like being asked these questions. And when you start making some really good points, look out. Because Leslie has no respect for the police, her grandma, or you. Like in this live stream, where Leslie admits to what she's done, but it was only just once, so it's totally okay in her mind.
Just to let you know, this shit happened like fucking years ago, and everybody fucking knows about this shit, and I fucking changed. Shut the fuck up and finish.
You still dated a child.
I never dated a fucking child.
Children.
You sent news to one.
No, it's not. It was just one.
It doesn't matter if it's just one, Leslie. It doesn't go away.
At this point, everybody fucking knows about it. Everybody freaking knows about it, and it's old fucking news. I fucking changed. I haven't done that shit in fucking years.
You heard it yourself. Leslie claims to have not done this in years. But while I was editing this video, gathering clips, I found another instance of her soliciting a minor. It has not been years. She is actively doing this, and now that it's more well known, she's actively trying to hide it. This video I'm about to show you is her crying and professing her love to Connor, another minor. Let me just show you the clip, and keep in mind that the person she's talking about is underage.
I have a huge crush on Connor. But I can't date him because he's too young and shit like that, but I do care for him. I do love him.
You can take it. Where do you want to go?
She admits to knowing that he's too young, admits to loving him, and admits to him being her whole world. If that is not damning evidence of someone's preferences, I don't know what is. I've spent over a year and a half now covering some of the craziest individuals on the internet, many of them with disturbing predilections themselves. But if I'm being completely honest with you guys, this takes the cake. I have never run across so many instances with so many different victims, and when I get to thinking about it, I realize that there has to be dozens of other people who haven't come out about what Leslie has tried to do to them. Or what Leslie has already done. She sent unsolicited photographs, she opened up an avenue so her father could as well. While it may be funny to watch Leslie fart and chew her tongue, this is really dark stuff. And I think that we can all take solace in knowing that Leslie is currently in a mental institution. She's been there for the past week or so as of the recording of this video, and I'm happy that she's in a place where she's not a danger to herself or the rest of society. But when she returns, and I'm almost for sure that she will, I'll be here to keep you guys updated. And that's all we have for Leslie Clark today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, especially till the end. It means a lot to me. And a quick little shameless plug. Every Wednesday at 6:30 Eastern Time, me and fellow YouTuber Smokey MCC have a podcast that we run. It's called Too High for Stupid, and we cover the weekly news of all the people we've made videos on. Every Wednesday, 6:30 Eastern Time. I'd love it if you guys would stop by. Again, thank you so much for watching, thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing. Big shout out to all my channel members. Thank you guys so much for the support. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, whatever you're doing, just go have a good one. And be sure to keep it Kiwi. Meet Nova Online.
The Nova haters have just struck on a full-on cyber war against the Nova Stars. Those are clearly effing photoshopped. I will not stand for this, Nova Stars. I'm at my breaking point. You're effing trolls who have nothing else better to do!
Gabriel Gage, also known as Nova Online, is a 19-year-old TikTok star with over 300,000 followers as of the making of this video. Nova was relatively unknown until about a year ago he posted a Wingstop review that went absolutely viral.
Trying Wingstop for the first time. Cajun seasoned fries. Okay. Mildly spicy, but nothing that I can't bear. These are actually pretty decent. 8 out of 10. Mango habanero wings. Oh, wow. Okay, these are very, very spicy. Oh, wow. They're very spicy, but they're still pretty good. 7 out of 10. Dr. Pepper. Oh, it slaps. 10 out of 10. Lemon pepper wings. Lemon pepper wings are absolutely stunning. They're amazing. 9 out of 10. Garlic Parmesan tenders. Really good. 8 out of 10.
After the Wingstop review, Nova Online would follow up with numerous other TikToks reviewing various other fast food products, and it would quickly become his main form of content he liked to produce, finding great success on the platform, having accumulated over 300,000 subscribers, as well as his fair share of detractors and trolls. And the accumulation of these trolls was aided in no small part by the fact that Nova would put so much personal information on the internet, even doxing his church during a Monster energy drink review.
Sorry, Ultra Sunrise Monster Energy, and if you're wondering why I'm not at home, I'm at my church for Bible camp. We're just waiting to board a bus to go to Cusick. So, we're trying Ultra Sunrise Monster Energy in the morning before we go. It's 7:46 a.m. First impression.
Even if we had a prisoner by that.
Smells like orange juice.
That's
Right,
privileged
cheers.
information. Move along.
And that's kind of what it tastes like. Like, this tastes like orange juice with a hint of tangerines. It's actually pretty good. I'll give it an 8 out of 10, just because it's not as good as Ultra Blue.
Another thing that attracted the trolls was Nova Online's almost seemingly terminal Discord usage, spending multiple hours a day in voice chats and in text channels talking to supposed fans, where he would very often disclose embarrassing and personal information about himself. Trolls would also raid the place constantly, much to the dismay of Nova.
The Nova haters have just struck on a full-on cyber war against the Nova Stars. I will not stand for this, Nova Stars. Do everything you can. We have the power of USADA Pecora and God on our side. Stay strong. This is a message to gain you gathered from the Discord. I've banned you from the Discord. Contradicting me around like you're my own mother and acting like you're God in my DMs is not cool. You are being blasphemous. The only one God is Jesus up above. Thank you.
Hey all, Daniel Kadri. I just wanted to let you know that our Discord is back open after we purged every single account because we had to get rid of all the trolls. And we didn't know who their alts were, so yeah, we're back open now after much thorough maintenance, and I hope to see you all back in the server.
Despite numerous purges, getting rid of an entire server audience altogether one time, Nova could not seem to escape the trolls on his Discord. More stealthy than they were previously, the trolls began to gather any speck of personal or embarrassing information on Nova. And they would find some pretty dark things that would change the public perception of Nova from being a cringy food reviewer to an infamous internet personality. And this is where it gets dark, folks. It was not only discovered that Nova Online was following many underage people with his TikTok, but he was also having conversations with them through Discord voice chats, where he would often indulge in one of his favorite pastimes, age regression. Nova really enjoys talking with a baby voice and acting like a toddler, often saying how much he loves wearing a diaper. In my opinion, it's very weird, but compared to some of the other characters you see on this channel, it's relatively tame. That is, until you know the context of the video I'm about to show you, where Nova got on a video call with a 14-year-old girl and proceeded to be very, very creepy.
So high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what.
Not only would he do this, but he would also ask these children explicit questions and show them the diaper I talked about earlier. All to kids around the age of 14. And this is only a fraction of the hard Discord evidence against Nova. If you want to see the rest, there's a channel that I cannot recommend enough. His name is Underflow, and I really appreciate him screenshotting and archiving a lot of these Discord messages because they almost can't be found anywhere else. When Nova found out that all this information had been leaked to the public, he was extremely angry and decided to hold a TikTok live stream to explain himself.
Hating on small TikTokers just trying to be fun, but all you want to do is falsely accuse them of crap they never did. Y'all are being legitimate assholes. Have you ever seen an episode of Darman? You would know to not be an asshole to people you don't know nothing about. Don't judge people before you get to know them. Proof my ass, it's all photoshopped. It's been proven. You're in timeout for like 5 minutes. Then I'll turn back on speaking privileges. Maybe. Now you better effing behave. You guys need to get a job instead of wasting your fat asses on small TikTokers. Those are clearly effing photoshopped. And if I can, I'll get my effing lawyers into this. You guys have no effing bother. This is you, and this hand is me.
Leave me alone. What's the hurry?
All of this information would cause Nova to go viral once more. And for a couple weeks, he was the talk of the town. It was all anyone was discussing. And of course, this only caused trolling to intensify. And now that they had some evidence, they would use it against Nova in any way they could. This would culminate in the church that Nova went to, who he had previously doxed, kicking him out as soon as the information was brought to them. Church was a place of refuge for Nova. He would participate in youth groups, Bible studies, all sorts of things. And now they wanted absolutely nothing to do with him. And when Nova had found out that he'd been excommunicated, he would go live on TikTok once more, far angrier than the previous time.
Breaking point! You're effing trolls who have nothing else better to do!
This was all obviously a wise decision. That fear, they'll go looking for. I cannot stay. Not here. Not in White. Our best hope now is to follow you. So if you do me a favor, let me thank you again. He's giving me my
You guys have anything else better to do than check out your fat asses and eat on the universe!
Nova, up until this point, had only fed the trolls, and reactions like this certainly weren't helping his case. His comments were constantly trashing him, big-time YouTubers were making videos over the situation, and he was becoming more and more hated by the day. Realizing this, Nova understood that if he was ever going to do anything on TikTok again without being harassed, he would have to take a break. And that's what he did. He didn't post for quite some time. People even thought that this was the end of the Nova Online story. But almost every time, it is not the case. These characters will always return to YouTube. They're addicted to the attention, they're addicted to the views. They love it too much. Nova was no different. He would return soon after the majority of the heat had died down. desperately attempting to recreate old success by doing his iconic Wingstop review 1 year after the first one had blown up so virally. And somehow, through no lack of effort, Nova managed to make this one cringier than the first.
1 year ago today, I posted a video that boosted my whole TikTok career. And 1 year later, we are revisiting that exact order that I placed 1 year ago today. This is trying Wingstop for the first time, recreated.
I'd head the Orland.
First off, I just want to thank every single one of you who have watched my Wingstop videos. Because it was my main turning point in my TikTok career, and I appreciate it. Now let's taste test everything in voiceover mode. Okay, so we're starting off with the Cajun seasoned fries. The Cajun seasoning wasn't dispersed all the way, so it was a little spicy. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Alright, I tried to showcase the wings. It did not go so well. But anyways, the lemon pepper had too much pepper for me. I will definitely give this one a 6 out of 10. Alright, and now we're moving on to the mango habanero wings. They were a little more spicier than I remember, so I will give them a 7 out of 10. And Dr. Pepper always slaps. 10 out of 10. Hey, Nova Kadri, starting off.
Something that you really need to indulge in if you're gonna go and watch Nova's TikTok is the comments section, because I struggle to find one positive comment. Usually they just call him out on things like if his hair is extra greasy, or if he's breathing into the microphone particularly loud that video. He deletes a lot of hate comments, so most of the time it's worded in just a way to where it's kind of a hidden insult against Nova, or at least something that could pass for a non-hate comment. Another thing I should point out is just how highly Nova regards this old video of his. Granted, it is the one that went viral. It was not him reviewing Wingstop that made the video so hilarious, it was the insanely cringy way that he did it. Of course, self-awareness is not one of Nova's strong suits. He thinks himself some kind of review bra, actually believing that the majority of the people there are here to see him and his brilliant reviews of very common fast food items. The reality is, much like Review Bruh, people are there to see him, but unlike Review Bruh, it's not in a positive light. Nova doesn't care. Of course, he has his legion of Discord buddy trolls that are gonna yes man him to death. Anyone with a trollsome bone in their body can see that this man is a prime target, and I think there's quite a few people currently playing the long game with him. People behind the scenes convincing Nova to do increasingly more cringe activities. Like this video, one of Nova's most recent, where he chugs an entire can of Mountain Dew by shotgunning it like a beer.
Alright, I'm gonna try to start a new series where I shotgun a bunch of different sodas. Today, we've got Baja Blast's younger but not as cool brother, Caribbean Splash. Gotta use the keys. Alright. Seven out of 10.
In all my time watching Nova food reviews, I've only seen one product get the 10 out of 10 perfect score, and that's Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is the golden standard from which Nova bases this whole rating system around. The only thing that's come even close was the lemon pepper wings. The first time, not the second time. The second time they had too much pepper, they lost a whole point because of it. But the OG lemon pepper wings had an 8 out of 10 score. That's truly almost unheard of in the Nova food review game. But Nova's return does not just consist of him doing food reviews. It also has him beefing with people. One name in particular might be familiar to you, Tofia Chu. A woman from who what I hear is horribly racist, has been fired from multiple jobs due to hygiene issues, and has also met Mick Foley. I also know that my buddy Smokey MCC is putting together a video on her. Go check out his channel. He'll have that video out soon, if not already. But Nova has been calling out Tofia Chu for being homeless, for being smelly, and of course Tofia Chu has been calling out Nova for being a pedo. This back and forth has been going on for a while. All the comments ship it. They think Tofia Chu and Nova are meant to be. Meanwhile, Nova is putting out videos like this one,
Tofia. Oh wait, let me change my attire real quick. It isn't fitting for the video. But hey. Now that we're properly dressed, hey Tofia, I've got your video game here that costs $29.99 a copy. I bet you don't even have that much in your bank account from all the DoorDash that you order. Even I DoorDash less than half as much as you. And I mean, that's just pathetic. You can't even cook. I have a real job. You don't. All you do is sit on your fat ass all day on TikTok Live and defame me and MG and all that shit. And because of that, here's to your stupid $30 video game.
I feel like this is only the beginning of the Tofia Chew beef, as she's had plenty to say about him, and he's had plenty to say about her. Other than that, it's been relatively quiet on the Nova drama front. It seems like his return has gone off decently. The chats are still full of trolls. I'm sure the Discord is still full of trolls, but it seems like he's still making videos every day. You can rest assured that if anything happens, I'll keep an eye on the situation and I'll let you guys know. Thank you so much for watching today, especially till the end. I really appreciate that. Big shout out to all my channel members. Much love to you guys. Thank you for all the support as always. And a quick shameless plug. Me and my fellow YouTuber Smokey MCC have a podcast that we host every Wednesday at 6:30 Eastern Time. It's called Too High for Stupid, and what we do is we go over current news, over the crazy characters that we cover on both of our channels. Once again, thank you so much for liking, thank you for subscribing, thank you for watching this video till the end. Have a wonderful night, and be sure to keep it Kiwi.
And Dr. Pepper always slaps. 10 out of 10. Me Nova Kadri, signing off.
Tofia Chew and the Slidels are down bad. First, the family dog Hershey Chew ran off into the wilderness, never to be seen again. Then they were on the verge of losing their motel room because they couldn't make the rent. And to top it all off, Tofia Chew would be banned from streaming on her main TikTok channel. Tofia made the majority of her money on TikTok through donations during these live streams, and losing them would send her into a spiral the likes of which we had not seen for a very long time. A spiral that continues to this day. For those who don't know about Tofia Chew, I highly recommend my first two videos on the subject. But a quick breakdown would be Tofia Chew is a TikToker who also involves her family on the platform, gaining infamy for a number of controversies as well as their zany antics. Being as I just made a video on her a month ago, I would usually give it a couple more months before making this one. But so much has happened that it makes my previous video look small in comparison. I previously mentioned that Tofia had lost access to live streaming on her main TikTok account, and this of course has put even more financial strain upon the family. Brother Chew is the only one out working a legitimate job, and now Tofia would be seeing almost no revenue for the month on TikTok. They were already in a good bit of trouble with the motel that they were staying at. Tofia and the family had been short or late on payment numerous times, and one day the complex had enough, kicking them out, making Tofia and her family officially homeless.
I don't have a safe place right now. I really don't have a safe place at all. People can come knocking on my door at all hours, every hour, right? And people have started recently sending pizza again. There is this whole issue of people thinking that life is easy when it's not. I'm not okay. My family's not okay. We're really not okay. We're not. And for people to make these jokes, my mom is disabled. There's a lot going on, and we're all going through it. We are not okay. We do not have a safe space. We do not have anywhere. And I'm just more concerned about having a secure place to live than rather than paying $400 every week when that money could go towards a house or go towards a stable place.
This was how Tofia let us know about her family's new living situation. Her father was now out of jail but still staying at a homeless shelter, and she, her mom, as well as her brother were now living out of their car, which no longer functioned and was stationary just down the street from the motel. The Slidels had no means of fixing the car, and they no longer had had any money to stay at the hotel, even if they were welcomed back, which they were not. The staff, as well as the management of the hotel, had grown quite angry at the Chu family. So angry that one of the employees decided to hop on TikTok and expose Tofia. At first, the employee doesn't want to say any names, but as the story unravels, it becomes quite clear who she's referring to. The housekeeper, going by Squid, would claim that Tofia and her family had completely trashed the room. But that's not all, because Squid would have a couple of stories to tell us about the family that were nothing short of shocking.
There is a TikToker on here whose name I'm not going to say just in case, who is known for going live, and she's been living out of a motel.